Pia has kind of been the new mid lane queen since Orianna got some nerfs, and Rise is obviously taken off the table. Talked about it there with Ezreal and Varus being the bans from game number 1. They switch it up, and Varus does go over. Could be going over to Cube. We did just see Hoya play a Varus top game here, so does disincentivize champions like Gnar being blinded very early into the draft from AL.
Pretty simple plan here as well from AL. Whenever you see an immobile AD carry picked on one side, you go up to Jarvan, and now with that Rite of the Arcane, you trap this Varus in a Cataclysm, and not very easy to juke out those ultimate shots from the Zerath. And yeah, definitely a bit of a curveball. We expect this to be Hopes, right? Hope is going Zerath, trying to take a page out of Viper here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of these bot lane Zeraths. I just don't think Zerath... I don't think Zerath blind is really good. Zerath is very, very particular about the comps he wants to play in. He wants to play into low range, low crowd control compositions that do not threaten him, and he also needs a team that's going to back him up. Alistar needs to be picked up here from AL, and then they need to ban Sylas in the second phase, because you need ways of being able to peel for him and giving him the space to be able to make things happen. Camille is really aggressive, and from what they are showing, you can win this matchup. Just Aftershock on the Nautilus makes it much more difficult. I imagine what's going to be the trade pattern is you're just going to be seeing a bunch of Zerath Qs landing onto a bout, and it's going to make it really difficult here. Second phase of draft, we're going to see a lot of what these teams are really playing for, and maybe some hints as to what we could be seeing.
Before we get too far into the second phase of bans, the Neferi angle, I feel like, not Neferi, Nidalee angle, excuse me, I'm switching to my dogs and cats. I did not see this coming. What is the... was this something... yeah, I feel like it's been a minute since we had a Monki Nidalee game, if I'm not mistaken, no?
Yeah, that was the backdoor game versus BLG, and that was a banger game. It seems like that's fine. It's gonna kind of cannibalize the jungle. Jarvan's not gonna be able to clear fast enough, and as long as Nidalee has winning lanes, you can out-sustain the Zerath poke later on. So even if she's not landing spears, the heal bot that she becomes in her human form is really obnoxious to deal with.
As we go through these second bans, we're seeing some priority towards these mid laners. I wonder, I feel like with the Zerath and AL kind of committing to, once again, at least, potentially double mages, or obviously single for now with Hope. Starting to think about, you talked about Cube, like what champions you feel unreliable on. I wonder if he could just try and look for another like pure tank that will be unkillable. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of strategy. Because that's what seems like a pretty good answer into the AL draft for me so far.
Maybe. Mundo's not available anymore, so that would have been really awesome.
Yeah.
This could be an Mbessa game. Bessa's ban. I am surprised that there was no Sylas ban. But I mean, you're now going to be Sylas, and Shanks already got a pentakill this split with this champ. I think you have a lot of great ultimates to take between Varus and Nautilus. Nidalee's a little less fun, but I just think that this 2v2 is really dangerous. Corki. All right,
stop.
So it could be Corki top, right? Like,
wow.
Thanatos played it.
Hard? Yeah.
I mean, look, we've got one Corki top game. There's infinite possibilities. They're giving Breathe the counter pick here. What is the mid laner for Karis going to be? I think you could try to play Syndra. It's really tough. Oh, we're going to play Renekton into... Please tell me we're playing Renekton into Sylas, because Sylas cannot win this matchup. Please.
That's got to be the option.
Renekton Nidalee mid jungle. Please give this to me.
I wonder, this feels like a move that would force Breathe to try and play a tank that... Because obviously this is like a huge AD comp, right? Like outside of Nidalee, we're all attack damage here. A little bit of magic damage with Varus.
Do not play Cassante.
Yeah. No?
Do not play Cassante. Do not play Cassante right now. Cassante into Varus is extremely miserable.
All right.
I think Varus into Gnar is not that much better, right? Like, you're still not going to have a lot of fun. I think that WE have now, if this goes the way that I am expecting it, where Varus is going to go top lane and Renekton is going to go mid lane, you have two losing matchups for AL early on, and bot lane's really the most volatile with Zerath, Camille. So, what exactly are we... We're playing Corki? Okay, Corki is a historic matchup into the Silas, but I still feel the same. I still feel like this is really tough to play for AL early, and even if we get into the theoretical late game where Zerath is going to have 3 items, I think that Nautilus plus Nidalee just provide way too much value in this game.
What an interesting draft here. Team WE, gotta think this is something they've kind of been clinging on to in scrims, or an idea that this is a draft look they can go for. Nonetheless, some very cool creativity coming out from Team WE. I wonder if, I feel like a lot of this is also fueled by the fact they get that Game 1 win. They're trying to catch AL lacking with an intriguing draft. 2 marksmen at play. Corki in the mid lane. I feel like this is a blast from the past. Back in, what do I want to say, 2020. Was 2023 when we saw those mid lane AD carries dominate? I think Corki was definitely one of the players. But yeah, this is giving me a chase of that.
Zeri. Yeah. Maybe it was 2024. I don't remember. Time is a mystery, and we're in 26 now, so we just get to get ourselves ready for Team WE versus AL. Let's see what happens here.
We go on to the Rift.
You know what's
Some
funny?
real
Went through the
inflection
history
from the AL
books.
fans. Okay, yep.
Corki, the last Corki mid was actually 2025. It was in August, and it was Karis. It was actually almost a year ago today. So we're a few days off.
What a ceremonious moment. How has Hope got himself into this spot? I'm assuming he just didn't
Camille's
expect Erha to try in this flank. Oh, no, he flashes, and the root comes down first. Depth charge going to be... Dredge line's going to use as well, but Hope doesn't actually want to go for this trade. I think this is mostly just to zone Hope off of this wave so he doesn't collect any of the XP. And like you talked about, it's not like Kael fared any better.
Look, you're playing these like roaming supports. You want to try to get aggressive. Hope is going to TP back. Yikes. I don't think Monki should go for a gank on bottom lane with the position. He's saving his TP. He's trying to abuse the home guards. Okay. Very conservative teleport use or non-usage coming in from the bot lane of AL, but opens up a very small lead, and these are the advantages you really want to be able to get as a marksman into these mages. This is a really good start for WE early.
It's early and often to try and get that, to make sure the mages can't just outscale you and benefit from the cheaper items later. So we do see the Dredge line not land on the bot side. Breathe and Cube, though, trading aggressively in the top side. It's going to be a flash having to be expended there to stop the fighting as Cube goes down. Well, both of them lose that key flash.
Yeah, it's just more important here for Breathe because he has Mininar and he has the range. So it looks like he's going to teleport early to really keep the pressure onto Cube. No, I'm 0 for 2 on teleport, so I'm just going to never mention the Summoner spell. This Summoner spell sucks. You should never use it, ever. Home Guards is OP, I did know that, but I really thought he was going to try to just kind of brick Cube for the rest of the game because if you don't use your rage-empowered Q as Renekton on the minion wave, it is really tough to try to trade into Mininar, especially because he started Doran's Helm, and now he has Boots plus refillable.
Yeah, once those tabbies come online, it's pretty rough for Cube to find any angle at all. Do see a relatively tame start in the jungle for both of our junglers here. Tarzan once again 3 camped, reset for the longsword, then cleared out his bot side. They both traded Scuttle Crabs, so after the antics of Game 1, it feels a little bit odd to see just such a tame jungle approach. I'm used to us flipping over Raptors here, but I'm actively watching both our junglers not have anyone disturb their Raptor takes. What is going on with my LPL?
See, Slayer is actually just mad that we're not flipping the game early because it's 8 a.m. right now. And he really just wants the fights because if there's nothing happening, he might just fall asleep at his desk.
Well, you also have to remember, a play-by-play intrinsically is all about the fights. So
sure.
There's also that aspect going through my mind. Do see Tarzan hovering around that top side. Not much to find there. Same for Monki on that bot side. But I am starting to notice that Hope is losing out more and more CS. He's down nearly 2 waves, having to take a reset here as well. And I think that teleport you were talking about will finally be expended. It's just that Slayer had to bring it up, and there we go. There's your teleport from Hope.
You're 1 for 1. All right. Let's.
Dang.
Let's. All right. You're mentioning the bot lane lead. I think it's pretty good, right? Like having your poke Varus, who, by the way, also took teleport in this matchup, is gonna be fine. Just having more access to poke, especially for the, I say low range. Everybody that is not named Zerath is low range. Like you're going to feel really good as this Varus, and you're basically playing a poke comp as we get further into this. You're going to be having Corki spamming rockets, you're going to have arrows, and the Nidalee Spears landing.
Oh man, Dredge line landed over top. Kael going to look to try and re-engage as Tarzan is in the area. Chased under the turret is the WE bottom lane. Desperately trying to get away, and they will be able to survive the gank for now. But it took a whole lot to make sure that happens.
Look how OP, by the way, this Nidalee champion is. Okay, never mind. He should not have done that.
Dredge line forward. Tarzan getting stacked up here, but he's going to find first blood, and he's able to bait Monki in. About looking to try and clean up some of these kills. Gets the hail of arrows down to find one. Dodges a Q from Hope. Piercing arrow goes down. Can he keep dodging these skill shots? Oh my god, About won't get hit by anything. It's finally the stun delay, but he bought enough time for Karis to have TP'd in and pick up the third and final kill. 3 split apiece as it turns into a bloodbath under the tier 1 bot lane turret.
Those small movements, and now they even get to swip up the matchups. Oh, Cube, you got to be really careful here, buddy. I know this wave is in a terrible spot, but Silas decides we are not going for the play. Varus TPing mid lane continues to apply pressure. WE being able to win out big time, and because of these rotations, because of the timing it takes for Ale to get back to these lanes, it's not only going to turn into those 3 kills being traded, it's bot lane scuttle, it's dragon. Nidalee is going to just run over this game unless AL can flip early on.
So we're going to replay, look back at how this all started. It was very topsy-turvy like you talked about. Very good for About to not get blown up by Hope here, and then, well, Monki doing monkey things makes it a lot more chaotic than I'm sure the bottom lane WE wanted it to be.
The flash is nice. I just think the rest of the team maybe isn't thinking, oh, are we going to go for a fight right now? Kael is extremely useless in this play. I mean, after you lose the hook shot, it's just not there. And then this is going to be the same observing for the replay.
Oh.
Literally the exact same. Oh, there we go. We get 1 dodge. We get a second dodge here. It's an auto attack, and then the max range orb being thrown down. So a lot of kills going over, and I think most important here is that WE get to collect both waves in mid and bottom lane, while Shanks just got himself a plate. So those kills end up making it more equal for WE. And they get the dragon, man. Like, this is just so good.
On the flip side, it's another early game where Tarzan finds himself significantly up gold. Picked up 2 of those kills, including the first blood, so he's once again accelerated. Got a lot of the components towards that sundered sky, but this is a similar story that we told to game 1.
And with a less equal draft, I think, than last time. They're getting some leads, and First Dragon isn't exactly everything to write home about. It's Infernal Dragon, and the next one is going to be Cloud. It'd be interesting if we get something like a Mountain, or even a Hextech that could really make this game very unplayable for either one. We got Grubs here. I would say that AL are the better Grubs team, but Corki Varus plus Nidalee means that your ability to siege is very, very potent. You're actually able to hit the turrets, whereas only Zerath and Gnar can really do that.
Yeah, that's why Monki's trying to get as many of these grubs as he possibly can, but Tarzan has shown up. They also have Kael in the area, so don't know how many of these he's actually going to be able to secure. So he is actually able to push AL away from the pit and grab all 3, so another nice positive point here for Team WE.
You gotta be careful as Hope. You have no flash, and Varus has ultimate, which means you could very, very quickly die here. They don't even know. They don't even know that they're looking at each other right now. They do now.
A lot more than looking at each other now. Yeah, now they're just completely scrapping it out. Cube likes his odds. His breathing's about to go mini. Slices forward, but again, just chip damage. It's really hard to blow up this Gnar with his build path. The Tabby's done. You mentioned the Helm. don't foresee any top lane solo bolos in this state anytime soon.
So, Grubs, all of them going over to WE. Very, very nice. I'm just looking at how close these teams are likely to be towards their quests, and I just think that About's going to be getting his quest, so it's going to be an influx of gold there. Monki is 3 camps ahead in his jungle quest of getting this now, and his wolves are about to respawn. His Gromp is likely next to be respawning afterwards, and that means that he's going to have his Evolved Smite, and just Nidalee becomes a beast. She becomes a snowball where the faster and the more items she gets access to, the easier it becomes for her to take over the jungle. And how flexible this champion can be in her cougar form. She can just jump around, she plays Vision. I still think that her human form is probably her most broken. Just that heal alone, the steroid with the attack speed steroid and the heal that it is so deadly to deal with.
When you think about who are going to be the primary benefactors of that steroid, there are 2 marksmen in this game, and does it open like another interesting conversation where, you know, I'm curious how you feel, Alk, but every time I just see 2 marksmen in a game, even if they are, you know, a Corki and a Varus, just feel like the scaling factor is on their side as Erha looks to try and hunt for Hope, but will not fall for the same trick that plagued him level 1. Chains of Corruption going to come out here. Should be the right of the Arcane as well. The Erha going to have to dance around these shots. As Tarzan also coming off to the side. Let's see if he can try and clean up this kill onto Erha.
They're going to go for this.
The tier 1 turret. They're going to look for this dive. Going to jump on top of Erha, about trying to coast. Kael off to the side, trying to join back up with his jungler.
Oh, About's dead. About is dead. They need to force the TP here. That's a very, very big win for AL. They now get complete control of the bot side. Getting that TP just means that Breathe continues to win. That kill goes into Tarzan's pocket, so Monki was sitting top lane trying to kill this minion, but they just couldn't find anything. So a big punish, I think, from WE just fishing for a play onto Hope.
Fishing too far. Gold lead still eerily close, and again, Team WE able to control those first 2 objectives, just gives them so much of breathing room by this point. Karis going to take over on that Triforce as Shanks looking to land the Abscond Abduct. He's going to use the hijack depth charge though and turn back onto Karis. Hookshot going to land on Karis as well. Knockups are starting to stack and Karis is caught. Hope going to grab that first kill as another Abscond Abduct going to land on top of Erha. Both Erha and Karis out of position and AL pounce.
Just can't take these early fights like that, and when you're playing into a Sylas, an important piece of gameplay is you just need to be careful about when you're showing on Vision. I know you want to try to take space, but you need to force the Sylas away and keep yourself out of range to be able to land the ultimate there, the hijack. So just giving them a free way to be able to get onto the back line. Dragon goes over to AL and just feels like a snowball, right? Just keeping that pressure from the bot lane, moving the Vision over to play around the Raptors, and then punishing Karis and Erha. These are the good steps. This is that foundational gameplay that we come to expect from AL.
It's what's got them back in the driver's seat here, able to tally off even Drake counts as well. Get a coveted kill onto Hope, who has been a part of all 6 kills, just quietly farming up. A lot more stable of a time here for Hope now. It's been tough for WE to really disturb him in his scaling. But Monki's still obviously hunting with these spears. Kyle's going to flash with the hook shot, get Monki trapped in that Hextech ultimatum, and here comes the right of Arcane. Flash away from Monki, depth charge is going to land, but About is already done. Hope finds that kill, and a flash away for Tarzan means Monki can't even find that trade, and they have to leave Erha to the wolves. Once again, it's AL pouncing as 5 and continuing to stack kill after kill.
I was excited to see Monki on his Nidalee. You have the Nautilus to be able to provide some kind of front line, but now it's starting to become an issue here, Slayer. Now we're starting to see AL with the just way easier team fight potential. Really clean find from Kael to go for a hook shot, flash, and then this combo finds both About and Monki. They teleport in the Avengers. Cube is walking his little crocodile feet all the way down the river, and all he can do is pick up a mid lane wave. Just that's what he gets for his troubles. His entire team dies in front of him. He goes, well, 6 minions is about what I can do. How about a meal and 6 pence?
all WE can really get by this point. It's AL. They're doing such a better job of just pouncing on these fights. It's something they've done a lot better job kind of tracking WE around the map by this point. And they're up about 2,500 gold. Of course, led by Tarzan, nearly 1,000 up on his own. Building towards that Black Cleaver. But Team WE, they still have both of these marksmen behind them. It's not like they're completely out of this game just yet, but definitely a worrying last couple of minutes.
Yeah. Slayer, I look at this draft and I'm saying to myself, okay, so we have the front line that I was asking for with Jarvan and this Camille, and Silas is going to get tankier and tankier. If this is a solo kill, I mean, you're just doomed at this point, right? Breeze should just be able to get out, even if he doesn't have flash. And now you're giving up the Herald for this.
Well, there's the slow from the spear, and they're actually able to find that shutdown. So big gold swing here for Karis, but like you mentioned, it will come with a cost. His About's got to get his fancy footwork in. Going to flash away from a hook shot. Right of the arcane. The last shot finds its mark. Hope locked in after whiffing a couple coveted skill shots onto About earlier. He's been on point with these ultimate uses.
Hey, 3 grubs in Trinity Force. You're going to get first turret of the game here on the bottom lane. But I just want to look at where the gold is lying. Hope now up almost 1,500, and he's going to get even more. And they're going to just summon the Herald. They want to go for 2 turrets potentially in mid lane. Shanks steals the Dominus, gives them that HP that they're going to need. AL are going to continue to look for maybe more of a siege here. Ends up kind of coming up short. Okay, if it's only for 1 turret and it's already a turret that was kind of low, I'm not as excited about that one, but Hope is really, really powerful. You have a double Fiendish Codex. This is probably going to be Crypt Bloom being finished here at 16 minutes.
Yikes. Yeah, this Zerath is a problem, and you talked about the value of a Diddly and a Nautilus, but if this guy has flash up, okay. So it's Horizon. Extra vision benefit. Yep.
This item is a disgusting stat stick. Has a lot of AP, has ability haste, everything you can basically want on Zerath. Just the scalings you have access to. But 30 seconds before Dragon Slayer, and no flash for Hope means I'm likely not looking for this.
Kael goes deep with a Hextech Ultimatum. Monki, though, able to use that stat stick to heal himself back up. Teleport's coming galore. It's Cube TPing in, but it's Tarzan going forward because he's found About with the Right of the Arcane. They can drop the damage from half the screen away. A Breathe able to find Monki as the Cataclysm gets on to 2, and it's just a wipe down from AL. What a response after that Game 1 throw. They are just dogging down onto Team WE. Flurry of kills are up to 13 as their gold lead explodes.
And they're going to get the bot lane turret now. They're going to go top lane and get another wave. This Camille is just too problematic. She puts down the Hextech Ultimatum, and then Tarzan is searching for About. Hope is sending Right of the Arcane shots down from the 3-point line. You just can't play like this. You cannot play versus this kind of composition. It's so difficult, and I was like, okay, maybe the fight is way too split, but it's just good coordination. Hope was in position. He's in the river right now. You thought, well, Alk, of course he's in position. He has the entire map that he could throw the ult down, but Tarzan finds the one spot where he could find the enemy Varus. Man, that early game was so good from WE, but it does not matter. AL are really far ahead, and I think their composition is just really, really easy to play from this spot.
Always easy to play when you're playing Jarvan and Gnar, and you don't have just one marksman to pick on. You've got 2. Valkyrie from Karis away from the flag and drag, but more than enough health bar for Tarzan to trade with the turret aggro. And in the mid lane, Hope is in the nightmares of About as he kills him again with the Right of the Arcane.
That time Shanks was kind of in the area, so maybe if we get a corner replay, we get to see exactly what happened. Oh, and they're going to try to kill Cube, or at least cut him off from this wave. They want this turret. It's almost down. It's 1.5. We're bringing 4 players for this, and Hope is going to continue to push mid. Monkey's like, hey, I took blue buff, guys. Not really, though, because I can't really do much in this spot.
Cube pops the Dominus to try and make a stand, but the stun synergy is beautiful from AL, and You mentioned it. It was foretold Cube was going to fall there, and it goes down all the same. Hope has found Monki on the back line, trying to just disturb the Zerath, but feels like at this point in the game, Hope is too strong to mess with.
He has 2 items, and he's going for a Shadow Flame next. He's going to be a 3-item Zerath at 22 minutes, likely is going to be the case. And what do we have to show for it as WE? Now we're getting that blue buff, I assume. I see him in that area. So what happened with Hope? Because the teleport... Oh, that's such unfortunate timing. Literally, Erha finishes the recall, and Hope shows up. Shanks didn't even actually do anything. He, like, low-key kind of aura farmed on him and took the wave. And that was basically it. There it is. I was 2 minutes early. Shadow Flame now completed. This is a 3-item Zerath at 20 minutes. That's kind of the game, folks. I don't have much more to say.
Yeah, we're just going to watch how quickly 2 marksmen's health bars can disintegrate when met with a Zerath. And like we talked about, the front-facing dive is all there to really support Hope by this point. A long road back for Team WE if they want to try and find this Game 2 win. Down about 6,500 gold. Baron isn't up for the taking, but it did just spawn. We'll have a Hextech Drake in about 2 minutes' time. But Shanks on this bot lane tier 2, it's looking rough for Team WE.
There's no soul to play for. It would be soul point if AO can grab it. It's 2 dragons a piece. It'll be, 2 dragons for WE, which just means we're nowhere near getting to that really big power spike. But we're down massive items. The only thing I can look forward to if I'm Team WE is we have Muramana on 2 of our marksmen. Karis is a lot closer than About is to that spike. But if we can get that to be relevant at an objective, maybe the next dragon after this, maybe we can find something. Because Monki is now 2 items on Nidalee. That's kind of where she is going to start being really, really problematic.
Here we go, right at the Arcane. About got to flash out of the Cataclysm, but look at the damage that Hope puts out. Hextech ultimate going to go down onto Karis, but Erha does have to back out. They're just going to turn and focus Erha on the front line as the stun lands onto Karis, has to flash away from Tarzan. Erha gets packed out. Tarzan still looking to chase further here. Cut off the escape route for Monki and Karis, who do turn around with the Gatling gun and a couple big rockets. But there isn't enough damage to make these kills happen, and they have to always fear the looming threat of Hope deleting them from off their screen.
Dude, Hope is a smurf in this game. He is just putting it down on Team WE. I wonder who's going to get MVP if AL win this game. Just, Tarzan's been looking good. Kael looks really, really good. If you're just if you're just, box watching for the scores. Yeah, there it is. It's likely going to go to Hope. He probably has an insane amount of damage in this game right now. He bought another needlessly large rod. Please be Rabadons. Just get us out of this one.
Just delete a couple more marksmen and get us to this Game 3. It's a 8,000 gold lead almost by this point here for AL. So look to play for that Hextech Drake on the bot river. Let's get over to Soul Point, and Team WE's only answer is to try and set up some semblance of vision around this Baron, because they know that could be the real final nail in the coffin for their Game 2 chances.
I didn't think about it at the time. Maybe there's a play. Breathe is running down Cube. He's going to go Mega here.
All about. No flash. You're dead. Trapped in the Cataclysm again. Tarzan has the GA, so it doesn't really even matter if he drops here. As Breathe comes in with the Mega Narg. It's the 2-man ultimate, but it mainly catches on to Cube. Monki can't step up. Erha, Karis. There's no way to move forward with the threat of Hope, and they can't even find a trade kill back. It's 2 more over to AL.
This is just what we talked about from draft, folks. If you're playing Varus, how are you ever supposed to get in range of this Zerath champion?
Shanks pops the Dominus as he hijacks it. Kael tries to trap Karis into that Hextech ultimatum, but Shanks is going to go down. Monki finds that shutdown until Hope pulls up and rescues it once again. Deletes Karis, and a nice health shot is going to set up Hope for a double kill courtesy of Kael. It's only Erha that's able to limp away from the mad Zerath from Hope.
And Kyle's like, hey man, why didn't you kill him? And Hope's like, brother, you hook-shotted him, so you moved him out of my queue. How am I supposed to kill this guy? So, Small things, but I mean, AL now get to be 9,000 gold ahead. Soul point for them, and they get to take the red buff, so... Hope, are you going to finish this Rabadon? That's kind of what I'm looking for, because now we're getting into the minutia of things. Like, are we going to finish Rabadons before 26 minutes? No, it's a second needlessly, and I did want to look this up. This is Hope's first career Zerath game. I can kind of tell which teams have been playing mages, and it's all of our top teams. They've all been practicing the same bot lane mages. Victor, Zerath, and Ziggs.
It's very interesting, right? Because thinking about what's in store for us patch-wise, how soon it feels like we'll be going away. Oh my god, let's see this damage real quick. All right, about to only gets hit by 1, gets a nice Nidalee heal, so he's fine for now. But we know that we're going to be going into a lot more marksman-centric meta soon, but seems that, you know, like you mentioned, those top teams, and of course now Hope playing his first Zerath game, are still willing to pull out the mages before the big switch happens.
Yeah, when we see these big patches, a lot of pros, the tendencies we'll see from teams is it's going to get nerfed next patch, so we're not going to even bother practicing it. Let's just get it out of the way, and we'll just pick our marksmen, start getting into the repetition and the rhythm of playing 80 carries. It's not like mages are being removed from bottom lane the entirety, so I think it's actually fine to continue practicing mages. It's just about the margins that you want to have as a team. You only have X amount of games to be able to get stage practice on, and there's only so many games you're going to be able to practice behind on in scrims. So I am fine with AL continuing to have mages if they can continue to show excellence here. There's no MR. No one has MR outside of Karis, and technically Erha with the locket, but that's really nothing. He has a Rabadon's death cap now completed. Hope blows up everybody on WE.
Yep, and he's just throwing Q after Q. I mean, that was 30% of About's HP off 1 Q alone.
Got an ultimate.
Kael and Hope can kind of just play stall because the top side of AL is on to the Baron. This time not going to be on top of Vision, but WE know this is happening and feel that they've got to find a way to make this fight work or their game is doomed. Kael trying to go forward onto About, who the Rite of Arcane once again lands on top of. Kael going to flash with the Hextech ultimatum. Does trade his life 1 for 1, but once again, About is going to drop. As into the background, it is Cube trying to find Hope, and he will get that huge shutdown. Erha engages with the depth charge. It's Shanks now, has to do the heavy lifting with the damage, but Karis is pulled up.
Okay.
Shanks going to have to go into the stasis as Tarzan does find Cube. Dunks down onto Erha, but Karis is untouched. And he's able to clean up all of these kills as Monki goes over the wall. It's only Tarzan, and a blast cone is the last thing to keep one member of AL up.
And they're going to go for Baron. They have 3 members here. And the Nidalee heal, that's going to be Baron, but I still don't know if this is going to be enough. Tarzan is looking for jungle privilege now, trying to get all of these camps, trying to heal up now. The Baron is going down incredibly slowly, but AL have no vision. Teleport comes in from About. They want to secure this. If they can grab this, they might be able to use this Baron and the tempo from this play to move into the Dragon in a minute and a half.
At the very least, this has completely stalled the game out.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if this game's quite back in a playable state, because it's still a 4-item Zerath, right? Like, the shutdown going over to Cube is beautiful. It's a great fight here, as we've seen Team WE. Like, they put so much stock into trying to kill this guy. He is down 4,000 gold versus Hope. He doesn't matter at this point. 1,100 gold going over to Cube. That's going to be an item completion for sure onto this Renekton. And the damage that you get access to when you have this Corki and the Nidalee finally getting what feels like a fair fight. But you're still making there's still so much ground you have to make up as W. You're still down 5,000 gold. And the Baron is nice, but there's now this Hextech Soul that you're going to be playing against. And now you're down some really key summoners like that flash from Cube.
And that flash from About as he tries to save himself from the Zerath J4 combination. At the very least, the Baron empowered minions is giving WE pretty solid priority on the mid lane, but the fact that this mid lane tier 1 is still standing is still such a problem. They're going to try and parry this into river control, knowing that if they want to keep this comeback train going, they need to secure this next dragon.
Best part about super minions, or the Baron empowered minions, is that they are so resistant to ability power damage. I say that a single Zerath Q does delete half its mini health, but don't look at that, okay, guys? Just let's believe in the narrative. It makes it much more fun for us at home. Kael was almost looking. Breathe is split pushing, and he still needs to build up his Mega Gnar. We saw Cube pushed out the bottom lane wave, ready the Arcane to take down this dragon, but I don't think this is beating a Smite here. So no soul for AL for another 5 minutes at the very least. And I like the fact that they've just decided, let's spread ourselves on the map. Let's try to get something on the opposite side, play away from the Baron.
Tarzan has his GA, he's trying to lead the charge forward, but he's only going to find Cube and Monki. Karis is waiting over the Drake Pit wall. His next cycle dominion will be committed onto Monki.
They go for
very
Hope!
tanky, and they're able to find Hope again. It's Karis that picks up that kill. Breathe is too far forward, dealing the bout, and Erha at the same time, and
No
Cube
way.
is unkillable once again. Kael's going to go down. Tarzan, Flag and Drag, try and get away from Monki, but the Hex Skates are going to get about the flank of a lifetime. Tarzan will watch his GA drop, and it's only going to be Shanks that survives as Team WE make another fight work.
Is it going to happen here, Slayer? Is it going to occur?
They have a bot wave.
Baron is still here for another 20 seconds. They have 3 grubs. I think death timers are just short enough at this time in the game that the game does not end here. But another fight where they're able to find Hope and they're able to completely circumnavigate around this. Big minions are now hitting, and they have an attack state spirit. They might just go for the game. They have double. They have a force and a Lich Bane.
Kael's back up. Hope up in 5 seconds. Tarzan still 30 seconds away. WE know that if they want to steal this win, they have to go for it now. Riley Arcane raining down as the first Nexus turret goes in, but Kael's caught and deleted. Jake's trying to find a way in, but all Team W are still up, and they're just going to hit the Nexus to rob Game 2 and take the series over anyone's legend.
It's an 8-game day, baby! Let's go! The WE fans, another Nidalee game, where from the jaws of defeat, they snatched the win here. AL unable to transfer that lead. 2 small fights. WE hold their medal. That Baron fight, I can't wait to see another replay of that one. God damn, let's go, WE.
What a way to end your first round robin, like that. 5-2 now, Team WE, within a series of AL. Wow, that is, I mean, it's awesome. The WE fans are losing it.
Yes, and that, the end game push there, likely only possible because of the mix of combination of champions they have. The Trinity Force from the Corki, the Lich Bane from the Nidalee, and I gotta mention it, the attack speed steroid on that heal looking very, very nice here in that last part of the game. The heal itself doing so much utility for this team. What an incredible series. Not only their first game win versus a top 3 team here in the LPL, but a series win on one of them. So important.
Whew. I mean, the flip side of this, Dimitri, man, those are 2 incredibly tilting games of League of Legends for anyone's legend. And the one thing that I feel like we can both outline that we noticed from both of those games was the positioning of these damage dealers, these carries, and the big moments where they have to make, you know, that big clutch play just weren't there. Game 1, how many times do we see Shanks like flub these RE combinations? Was relatively useless in these team fights. And as much credit as we should give Team WE for Cube finding that flank, Karis finding that flank, Hope's the one guy that just cannot get caught. And 2 fights in a row, he is caught out here. I can't wait to see the replay of the Baron fight as well, because I saw it. Breathe tried to Gnar ult Cube into that tiny little Baron half wall, but he actually misses the wall and throws Cube into Hope, who's trying to run away. Man, this one, there's no other way to describe it. This is a tilter for anyone's legend.
They're just being too formulaic about their games, or maybe too cookie cutter. Every single fight was the same. It was Kael Tarzan finding about, killing him instantly. And that's great. It got them the 5,000 gold differential that we saw between Hope and About. But then what happens afterwards? You need to be able to kill this Renekton. You need to be able to stop the enemy backline from getting in. And this is now 2 games in a row here where we saw decent front line, maybe a little bit of a split call, but not being able to think on your feet and change the targets that we're going for. The target prioritization coming in from AL, I think pretty poor here in this series.
Yep.
And what a series to lose, by the way. Talking about this team, I mean, they were 5-1, 11-3 before this series. Now 5-2, 11-5. Not the worst score, but Now you've completely tied up the lead that you had over Top Esports, so second place is now within reach of Top Esports. And now WWE climb up to 5-2. They get to match you in that record. The only thing that's keeping them back is that they have an 8-6 game spread.
Yeah, so let's I've gotten word our standings are updated, and all great job describing it with lovely words, but let's see the visual aid that shows, wow, what a stack of teams on that top 4 spot of Group Ascend. And the coolest part here, Alk, now that we can look into the future, that our day is coming to a close, this very same time tomorrow, the third series tomorrow, is BLG Top Esports. Do we have Top Esports favored? No, but there is, of course, a world where BLG are 6-1, TS are 6-1, AL and WE are now 5-2. They are packed in tight up there.
Man, and really it is kind of the downfall of JDG that is allowing WE to be this far up, and obviously themselves, they did it, man. That was crazy. That's insane, man. I love it. This is turning out to be a really exciting split. We maybe came in with expectations that the top 4 was locked and it was going to be WE and the rest of the smattering of teams between TT, LGD, and EDG that were going to be fighting for 6th, 7th, 8th. Now it's kind of like we've swapped 2 of the teams. Maybe the race for those last 2 spots at the bottom of Ascend are maybe up for grabs with EDG swapping in JJ. I don't know, man. This group Ascend is looking really, really tight, especially the conversation about how top lane just seems so shallow in terms of talent. And players like Cube outplaying players like Breathe. It has been a while since I've been able to even think that sentence is even possible.
It's wild. It's wild, Dimitri, and I kind of want to parry that into conversations about player of the game, maybe, but also just player of the match. I know you talked a lot about like box score watching, and we kind of felt like Cube didn't deserve like the game 1 MVP. It should have gone to Karis, but I think for player of the match scenarios, we're in rare air. I think it should go to either one of these solo lanes. I don't think it should be Monki, and that again I think is the really cool stamp behind this new form that Team W are finding as LPL threats. And now, as we move in the second round robin, the conversation with them is going to be threatening to maybe take one of those world spots. Because why not at this point?
So Cube was the interview, and he also had some really clutch Renekton plays. He might just
really
get
clutch.
double Pog and player of the series, which would be almost antithetical to the series we thought we were going to have today. We came in with our bot lane head-to-head. We came in talking about the 2 junglers, as we do when it's an ALWE series. But
of course,
Cube was someone that we kind of talked about in game 1 as, okay, you have counterpick. Are you going to get it? He comes in with this Mundo and he smashes. He comes into this game with this Renekton where he doesn't get to do very much because the whole game is about exploding bot lane. And then he comes into team fights and he's looking good. The WE solo laners are really starting to deliver. And that is a promise that was made a year and a half ago when they first started this project.
Look at that.
They were still up gold when they lost the game.
Yeah, that's the wildest part. That's LPL gold graph. I know we say it all the time, but holy, that is... And what an unfortunate game for Hope here. You talked about he breaks out the Zerath. He goes 14 kills, absurd damage numbers. But, hey, you can't feel too bad for him because we're going to go through these highlights. The last 2 big fights, how much damage did he get out in those fights? Not a lot of that.
I want to see how much gold.
45K.
He's worth 200 gold, guys. The Varus is not worth it. Renekton is just too tanky. Look at that TP shield.
Yeah, do you think it's kind of like the lull and like the simplicity of like, oh yeah, Varus is an easy target, so they...
Yeah.
I gotta think that's kind of the thinking, because obviously Renekton could slice and dice out, Corki could technically Valkyrie out, Nidalee has a hop, and you don't want to dump it onto Erha, but I felt like as this game got further into this stage, they probably should have tried to go on to Karis, because, yeah, a Valkyrie can get him out of Cataclysm, but they're still right at the Arcane raining down, like Flag and Drag can follow. I don't want to call it lazy to just go after a bout, but it was just the easy choice that they lulled themselves into thinking they could do every time.
I totally forgot about this play here where they were able to also find him. It was an early trade, and then they get this kill onto Monki, but I will call it kind of lazy. I do think it's like, hey, we have a lot of veterans. We don't have a ton of rookies. Like, we kind of should just know how to play, and I want to see again. So we kill about. I'm looking at Hope here. How much gold does he get for this? Like,
Watch
okay, cool, whatever. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't see this part.
Look at that.
Oh, he lands him right onto Hope.
Look how close it was to hitting the wall for the stun. I mean, if it stuns him, I think Hope's fine, but it doesn't.
Yeah. Small margins. You can say it was laziness for AL, maybe a lack of creativity from them.
And here we go.
This was a really good play from WE. AL thought that they were just running into a free red buff, and just Karis going right over, flashes over the stun. The most clutch part about all of this. And still Monki and Cube are alive. Monki has given this guy heals, and he's just completely fine.
Yeah. I think it's got to go to Cube, man. Even if the player of the game doesn't go to Cube here, I think player of the series. It's just
for sure.
It's so cool just how much of a clutch factor Cube and Karis have become. And again, you know, more so for Karis, I felt like there was stuff to build off of from 2025. Maybe I was personally a bit lower on Cube and his year, but I could see like Karis, you know, developing into this. I bought into the idea. It's just awesome that it's now both of them that are fully bought in. Obviously, they've been bought in on this team for a while behind Monki, but it's just so cool to see them step up. And now, as cool as it is to highlight Monki constantly through a lot of these series and give him credit for how well he plays, this team was never going to go anywhere big like Worlds or deeper playoff runs in my mind unless someone else decided to step up. It's cool that this split, I think you could argue in multiple of their series wins, it's been Cube at points, it's been Karis at points, like the TT series I thought it was about. So now, what a threat this team is going forward in the second half.
And they all need to be able to deliver, right? It's, you know, this is a one series, this double round robin. The next time we see these guys, maybe it's a different story. Maybe AL take a 2-0, but or maybe, you know, we see this series go the same way. But it's all about consistency, right? How many times are we going to get this from Karis? At this point, I think that Karis has become a much more consistent threat. Cube, I'm still kind of holding out hope. Like, is he really going to kind of pan out? Because this is now coming into, I want to say, his 5th year playing in the LPL. Probably closer, now that I'm looking at it, like 7th year playing, really.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been playing since 2019 summer. He was on that Vici Gaming roster with... yeah, that was a long time ago. But it's like you're coming into what many I would consider as like the twilight of a lot of careers. And for a long time, we were like, Cube is an okay top laner, but he's never been the guy. He's never been really an amazing top laner, to be frank. So this might be it. This might be the unique combination of 5 players that WE finally were able to make that run to Worlds. And it's not something we've been able to say for a while now.
A while, yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be fun, man. We're in for one hell of a second round robin. When you think about you said it so well, I think this is such a fun league for Split 3 in the LPL. You know, before we get the player of the game, player of the match, we can kind of maybe talk a little bit more big picture. But I really feel like 2 teams that are so easy to root for right now and are so fun that make the league awesome is CWE, and then what we just NIP is the other team I think is super fun. I don't know how you feel, Og, but that series against IG was super cool. I think that team's also fun. We saw how elated they got after they won that series. It's cool to see that. Obviously, it sucks like teams like JDG are taking a step back, and BLG's a little bit up in the air with their top lane situation. But it's cool that we have, in my mind, 2 teams to gravitate towards to as just feel-good squads that are leveling themselves up. Split 2, they both started doing that, NIP and WE, and it's looking better and better for these 2 squads. Except for the Nirvana part of NIP.
Don't worry, we know who the worst Nirvana teams are. It's okay. Weibo and LNG. We'll see them in 27.
See you in 2027, guys.
Player of the game, rightfully so. Great job, Cube. Damage, and now it's he has half the damage taken to gold, but I'll take that. Minus 1,500, and he wins. I actually really want to check real quick. Player of the games, where are we standing? So he is now tied for Karis. Karis and him are at 3. About has 2. Monki has 2. He basically just caught up with the rest of his teammates in one series, and he might actually, I wonder, he might earn himself as first player of the series.
I'm expecting it. That they should reveal it soon here. Such a fun story to think about. And, you know, remember, everyone, this is AL and Team WE closing out their first round robin. And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, by the time we end tomorrow, will everybody be through their first round robin? I believe so. We might be waiting on JDG.
No, we are waiting on Weibo versus LNG. That'll be the last part of the round robin. And that's Saturday. That's the first match. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun games. Yay! There we go! I can't believe a Mundo game is going to get an MVP, but well earned. Very much well earned. I'm glad that this champion is coming back, even if it is in niche spots. Very good job from Cube. And what a fun team, man. And feels bad for AL. Like, 2 very winnable games, and if I'm going to say that WE snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, I felt like AL snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. As an Emily Rand classic.
An Emily Rand classic. I'm sure she's going to have a lot of thoughts on this series as Team WE do find themselves not just their first game winning against a top 3 squad, a 2-0 sweep over anyone's legend. Congratulations once again to Cube, player of the series. And as we wind down our very long day of League of Legends, we, of course, have some very important people to shout out. I like to call them the players of the stream. So I would like to say from the bottom of my heart here, thank you very much to our Elite Coffee supporters. Got Aaron Soup, Mong, Gelati, and Andrea Duran. Their pledged financial contributions help level up the broadcast and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you an English LPL product every single day. And we really appreciate you guys, because it's you Elite Coffee supporters I'm picturing as I stare at the clock right now, Dimitri. So that's my final thought on that one.
Yeah. I got nothing to say. I want to thank everybody for joining us for what has been an 8-game day. We were robbed, everybody. We were robbed of a 9-game day, but I'm sure Slayer and I are not too mad about that one. And congratulations to our teams. Tomorrow, remember, we're going to be on again, same time, same place. We're going to have JDG versus EDG, WE versus TT, and BLG Top Esports. This is wrong, everybody. It also says week 2 at the top. So it's okay. It's okay. We had a swap at the last second, but BLG Top Esports. Hey, there we go. This is actually still the wrong graphic. Wait, yeah, it is the wrong graphic. I updated this, but it's okay, guys. It's okay, guys. Just go to Leaguepedia. Just go to LoL Fandom. You'll find the schedule there. There's an updated schedule somewhere in our Google Drive, and we'll fix it for you guys. But Slayer, close out the show, man. We're done. It's 8:30. I'm out.
It's 8:30 in the morning, and I'm going to go put my head to the pillow so fast. But I will see all of you guys tomorrow. I'm glad you brought it up. BLG Top Esports will be a banger, of course, a rematch of our Split 2 Grand Finals. I'll see you there with Quacks. It was a pleasure, Dimitri. I couldn't have picked anyone to go through that goofy of a 2 games, but a 2 games of fun for Team W nonetheless. You guys know where to return to. We're still rolling through this very short regular split, and that means more 3 series banger days that you have on the horizon. We'll see you guys tomorrow